Urbana actually advances the mission of our local fellowships, our chapters on the ground, I think in three primary ways. The first way is, at Urbana, students understand their place in God's mission, which is to declare His glory among the nations and to call people into a living relationship with Jesus Christ and with one another. And I find on college campuses, people who go to Urbana come back on campus and they realize that they have an obligation, a responsibility, and a privilege to share their faith and to become compassionate, incarnational, but bold witnesses on campus. Urbana helps us with evangelism. Urbana also helps us, I think, with chapter growth because you get a compelling, vibrant picture of the fact that the world needs to know that Jesus Christ is both Savior and Lord. And I think when they come back to our chapters, students who've been to Urbana realize that it's not enough that the chapter exists just for its own sake, for its own needs, but they're actually concerned with reaching out beyond their own boundaries into places which make them uncomfortable so that Jesus Christ can become proclaimed. And I think that helps the chapter grow because students come back not just willing to verbally witness about who Jesus is, but they're inviting people to participate in the mission of Jesus Christ, which is experienced both in the world but also on our campuses. And what I've appreciated about Urbana over the last couple rounds has been, there's been an increasingly strong call to witness on campus as soon as they get back. It's not just something that occurs, mission isn't something that just occurs after they graduate, it happens right now. I think the third thing that Urbana helps us with is frankly planting. At Urbana, the repeated call they're going to hear is, who has not yet heard the gospel? Who are the unreached peoples that we need to speak to, and how do we not just speak to them or send them something, but how do we go ourselves to create a witnessing community in those places? And there's a direct correlation between doing that after you graduate and doing it on campus now. And so students who go to Urbana, I think, come back and they look at the campus differently and they say, there are a lot of people who still need to hear the gospel. How do we create a witnessing community that will reach them in ways which are appropriate, loving, compassionate, and also bold? And so I think the opportunity to say, well, it's not just the people in our fellowship or that they're easy to reach. How about in that people group over there? How about that campus right next door that doesn't have a witness yet? How could you live out your Urbana commitments now in that way? So at the last Urbana, we challenged every student to start a gig, and we trained them in how to do it. We kept talking about the needs of campuses that still haven't been reached, and we talked about how I think the health of our fellowships as we're engaged in mission will help us grow. Urbana isn't just a missions conference, it's smack at the center of calling students to participate in the mission of God, which is what we're doing on campus, and I think it helps us in all three ways.